Hello, my beautiful Virgos. Honest Am here, the creator of the Honesty Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another day. No, I am here for a monthly empowerment read where we use the tarot to become the alchemist of our lives. So if you are tired of creating videos, image. So if you are tired of creating vision boards that never come true, Virgos, this is for you. Angel number 25. So Virgos, let's see if I can get through your message. This is actually my second time recording it. The video cut off the first time. Angel number 34. So let's just see. I'm going to try one more time. And if I can't get through it, then I guess we'll just try another day. All right, God, what messages do you have for my beautiful Virgos to become the alchemists of their lives, to help bring heaven on earth, or just to do magic in public? What messages do you deem worthy for them to hear at this time? What potential obstacles, manifestations, or roadblocks may be in their way to helping them realize their dreams? Please deliver these messages to me and through me as clear as possible. I am a clear and open channel. Being to light only. Alright. So, angel number 117. Let's see. Ooh. So, Virgo, this is heavy. The card came back out. So I guess this is your message. So Virgo, your month of February is going to be all about you learning how to communicate with spirit. God is telling you, the cards that came out is rejection. When I see this message, I automatically hear rejection is spiritual protection. So whatever things have not happened or whatever haven't gone your way, God is saying he wants you to know that it is all happening for a reason, that he didn't want it to happen. Like, you weren't supposed to be in those environments. So do not have any type of ill will or any hurt for them. Just know that this was necessary to happen to get you to where you need to be. The reason why I say that, because underneath this is impartiality, and impartiality is all about not taking things to heart, not allowing, one, not taking things to heart, and two, not being so weighed down on if this is the right or the wrong thing to do. So often we here in the world and in America, just in life, we use this thing, angel number 1230, we look at life and we try to say, oh, this is right and this is wrong. And this, we try to look at it very black and white. But the truth is, just like these cards, life operates in shades of gray. And so things bad may happen to us, but they're ultimately happening for us to set us up for something good. And so I feel like God is saying, whatever has been happening in your life, whether it's your love life, whether it's career, whether it's your friend group, whatever has been happening in your life, it has obviously been shaking you up to get you where you are going today. I believe I was just talking about to the Cancer group. So if you have any Cancer in your chart, make sure that you check that out. But and when I say Cancer in your chart, I mean if that's your sun, moon, or rising, you can find that out by looking at astrology.com. Get your free birth chart. If you know your date of time, your placement and your date of birth, the place that you were born and the time, you should be fine. But anyway, so I was just talking about this idea of understanding that life is not about doing the right thing or the wrong thing. It's just about doing something. I just wrote an article on honestysis.com. And I explored this idea, and we think that everything is, we want it to be very simple and to be very black and white, but it's not. It's really not. Like, everything has happened to kind of get us to like a certain point in time. If we just take a step back and start looking at our life like a movie and look at the people who comes in our life, Angel number 4, as just people playing roles, then we won't take stuff so personal. Then we won't, and matter of fact, we won't take ourselves so personal. We won't block ourselves in. So often we feel like, oh, I shouldn't do that because of who? Society? Like, we don't do things because of, I don't know, but who's to say that you're not supposed to do that? I feel like God is saying the thing that should be ruling you is not fear, but love. You should be ruling yourself. You should allow that to allow you to lead. If you were being true to yourself and these people didn't want to be around you or they rejected you from your cycle, then wasn't that a blessing? That wasn't rejection. That was blessing, right? Angel number 440. And so God is saying, stop looking at everything as this is the right thing to do, or this is the wrong thing to do, or I should say this, or I know. He's like, get out of that. Get out of the black and white and just focus on your heart. Focus on what feels good. Focus on yeah, like where you think you're supposed to be. If you do that, it will lead you to this role, to this place of recovery. This card actually came out in your first reading, and recovery is about recovering a piece of yourself. The reason why you don't feel content, the reason why you don't feel like you're advancing, is because you're taking this rejection, you're taking all the things that happened in your past so personal. You feel like God is like personally picking on you, and that's not the case. We have to realize that if you pray for a new job, or if you pray to have a partner who understands you, if you pray to have friends who you can build with and who support you and who goes beyond surface level relationships, then if your situation, if your love life or anything starts shaking up, you have to understand that it's happening so that you can recover what you asked for. We can't ask for change, and then when stuff starts shifting in our life, we're like, oh my God, God, you don't love me, you don't fuck with me, why you doing this? No. We have to realize that every single thing that has happened in our life, it's happening for a reason. So have patience with yourself. Have patience as you're on this journey. Angel number 615. All right, let's get some more information about this rejection and impartiality. And since it's all in the same thing, I am going to read just a little bit more information. Embracing the spiritual, embrace the spirit of universal consciousness. In the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, we each reach the place of universal consciousness, which is outside our physical body. You may notice that these cards represent some aspect of our collective being. The idea here is that we are all vibrating through our seventh chakra, and in a powerful way, it helps us connect to our humanity. The cards of the seventh chakra are neutral in color because spirit, in essence, is neutral. Here you will receive messages from spirit that are detached from human worry. So again, God is not looking at stuff as, oh, this person's backstabbing her. God is just looking like this. I need this person to come in her life to get her to here. Okay? Stop taking stuff so personal. These cards indicate the higher minded thinking that happens when we align with spirit. The power of holding space can also be seen in the still energy of each card. Here we see how conscious choice can bring you spiritual magnetism. These are cause of mastery. So God is saying, angel number 730, you've done the work. Your blessing is within reach. But now you just need to understand how to rise above your flesh and how to stop taking things so personal. Okay? Rejection. You no longer need to prove yourself. This is about understanding who you are and what you have created. Ivory allows others into your life. Choose wisely. With impartiality, we have this is not a time to personally shine, but to allow others to come forth with their gifts. You may find yourself in the role of neutral advisor. Hold the space for others to find their own answers. Advice may not be well received. Be unbiased now. Angel number 815. I quietly listen, allowing you to color your own palette. Bahama is the wise dictator from the town of Beige. She is known for settling disputes fairly. One day, two neighbors are arguing about what colors to paint their fence. Bahama gives each them a can of paint and instructs them to paint their side of the fence the color that the other neighbor wants. She knows that when they can see color, their worlds in the love of their neighbor eye, they will understand and accept one another. Take an impartial look at your situation. The action here is to listen and observe. If I step back from my present situation, what do I see? Can I be neutral? Get some more information about rejection. They won't use me. The artist is summoned for jury duty, but they won't use him. He doesn't fit their concept of what a juror should be. He paints pictures no one understands. He lives alone. They want someone who will put himself in the other guy's place, but he will never do that. He doesn't get mixed up with anything or anyone. They honor his individuality when they invite him, yet when he appears, they reject it by not using him. You don't have to be on the inside track. Be true to yourself and you will not be happy. Rejection and spiritual protection. Am I working with or against my environment? What is the purpose of my present solitude? And so right away, I was getting that message that I feel like you are fighting. I feel like you're like angel number 945. It's like you're fighting against your present circumstance. I feel like because you have this idea of what is right and what is wrong, you're creating this turmoil in your environment when you could really just take a step back and look at things differently. I have a job where I'm working with different personalities all the time. And sometimes, well, back in the day, not even back in the day, a couple of months ago, I used to, because I was taking things on and feeling like the world was against me, people talk to me any type of way, because I was taking that on, I was encountering that a lot in work. And so when people would ask me for something, I would snap on them because I'm like, ain't nobody about to be talking to me any type of way and blah, blah, blah. And I had to realize that, hey, you are creating this environment of chaos and turmoil. So often people say, oh, well, you got to treat people how they treat you. And if they do this, then you got to do that back to them. And it's like, no, why would you scoop down to become who they are? And I'm not trying to sound like Michelle Obama, but it's like, why would you go low when they go low? Why would you allow somebody to take you out of your character and who you are for their acceptance? What sense does that make? And so I feel like what God is saying is that if you find yourself in an environment that is full of chaos and that's full of turmoil, or if you find yourself bumping heads with people often, take a look at yourself. Are you bringing in things from your life and putting it into your work? Are you projecting to other people? I'm so glad that I watched Malcolm and Marie, because I realized that I think I was so uncomfortable watching that movie. Like, I kept going back and forth. Like, at first I'm like, Malcolm is wrong. And then I was like, Marie is wrong. But then it was like, I could see sides of myself in both of them. You know, like I could see that the casualness of, of wanting to just have your moment and just to have your day and to not have to worry about your partner feeling. And I could also relate to not feeling like I'm truly lovable. So I create problems in my relationship, or I project issues into my relationship. I'm getting a tickle in my throat. I feel like you're not speaking your truth. You're not speaking your truth because you're like, well, this is not the right thing to do. Or you're not speaking your truth because of fear of rejection. And I feel like what God is saying is it is not about if it's the right or the wrong thing to do. It's about you just doing it. If you never tell somebody, angel number 1242, that you're uncomfortable or that you don't want to do something or that this is not how you like to be treated, then how would they ever know? I used to spend my life trying to be this people pleaser and just never rocking the boat until I lost a part of myself. And then I had to go back and recover myself. And I got rejected, but I had to ask myself, do I really want these people in my life if they can't accept me as I am? If they're rejecting me because I'm choosing to recover parts of myself, because I'm choosing to stand up for myself? Why would I want them people in my life? And it's not about judging them and about saying, but it's just like you don't align. You no longer align with where I'm trying to go. All right. I don't want to lose you guys. So let's get some more messages. God, what's this message of rejection and impartiality? What are you trying to get my beautiful Virgos to understand about being rejected from certain areas? What are you trying to get them to understand about working with others, about taking an impartial view, about putting yourselves in not only the view of spirit, but also of yourself? God, what messages, what do they need to know right now here in the month of February? Make it as plain as possible. How can they recover a piece of their soul? Stop. Okay, last shuffle. Here we go. Last shuffle, God. Make it as plain as possible. Okay. This is interesting. So, Overall, this reading is the Page of Swords. When you see a Page of Swords, or when I see the Page of Swords, I kind of see somebody who is emotionally immature. And I say emotionally immature because we see water right here. We see that he's really not sure how to pull out his swords, which means he's not able to communicate himself properly. And then I'm going to take it a step further, and I see smoke up here, and I always accumulate that with spirit. And so I feel like God is saying that because you have taken so much of this rejection to heart, that you're not even in a place to where you can properly hear God. You're not even in a place where you can properly communicate your feelings. And so God is saying he wants you to come out of this. This came out reverse. Actually, it came out reverse. So I feel like he's saying that this reading is coming about to kind of get you out of that. This reading is here so that you can become emotionally mature, so you can understand how to hear and see what spirit is trying to say. God is saying right now, you're in a place where you can be able to mature and to move on and to go on a journey after your dreams. But at first you need to let this rejection not take you to heart. Like, instead of, trying to focus on how to sing your sword and all that stuff, God is saying focus on how to connect with spirit. Put your attention on spirit. The rejection that you're in, this isolation that you're in, is happening for a reason. It's happening so that you can learn how to properly communicate with God and how to properly communicate with others. God is saying if you do take the advice of this reading, or if you do take the advice of, not being immature, not being quick to temper, if you do take that moment to kind of, pause, look at your situation differently, see if you can try to understand what God is trying to show you. He's saying that you will see that you're closer to your 10 of Cups. You will realize that everything that you want is within reach. You will realize that you have the tools and the capacity to bring all of this about. The 10 of Cups is like ultimate wish fulfillment. It's two people coming together. This can be your masculine and feminine side. This could be you and your homie, or you and your business partner. But they're being able to, put these cups, accumulate all this wish fulfillment over a period of time. And your number 1711. And so God is saying, if you don't take this moment of isolation, this moment of rejection, but just as protection, and really try to lean in on hearing God more, then he can get you to that 10 of Cups properly. Let's take that moment to listen to God, to pause, to not be so quick to respond, not be so quick to temper, but really stand in your power and connect with God and look at things from a different point of view, then you will see a blessing in the unknown. Every time I see this card, the Page of Cups, I see wish fulfillment. I see wish fulfillment in unexpected places. God is saying you have this idea of how you think this vision is supposed to come about, that if anything arises, it's like, this ain't right. And God is saying, no, don't focus on that. Don't focus on if it's the right or the wrong thing to do. Keep allowing yourself to lead, allowing your heart to lead, allowing your emotions to lead, becoming one with your emotions. If you become one with your emotions, then you'll be able to easily hear from God and from spirit. Once you're able to easily hear from God, from spirit, you can get to the 10 of Cups. You'll get those blessings out of nowhere, those extra assists, and then you will truly become the magician of your life. And this magician came out reversed because I feel like what God is saying, you will realize that it's not about you reaching this one moment in time. You'll just realize that you have the power to do it at all times because you're connected to a source that is greater than you. Underneath this is the Ace of Pentacles. Is the Ace of Cups with the impartiality. And so the Ace of Cups, we see this like our cup runneth over. This is a cup with angel wings, so which means this is a new start, a new wish fulfillment journey that was granted by God, that was granted because you went through that process of transmuting your emotions. So God is saying, in this month of February, if you just look at your life, if you just take that moment to not act out, not to reach out to anybody, but to really look at yourself, look at your life, look at, what did this moment of isolation give you? Look at what was this blessing that this isolation gave you? What happened because you weren't able to be around your friends? What came about because of that? If you do that, then God is saying you will become the magician of your life. You will be able to you'll be able to easily do this if you take the impartial, the approach of, I'm not going to if you take the approach of, I'm not going to judge anybody, I'm not going to be mad at anybody or give somebody my power away or anything like that. If you just turn this off, if you turn this journey inward, and if you make this about yourself and you make this about learning how to speak and to communicate with God, then you will be able to see your power as the magician. And I don't understand why this came out reversed. This came out, the magician reverse is like you not paying attention to your intuition and your nudges. And maybe in the beginning you weren't really being able to pay attention to your intuition and nudges because you were too busy, trying to find the right thing to do, trying to find the right motion to take. If you do this process of taking that moment to look at your situation differently, knowing that everything happened for a reason, then going into March, you'll be able to feel prepared and successful and ready. And like, you'll probably get like that one blessing or that one inkling that lets you know that you're on a right path, and you'll be able to truly start this journey of recovery. But hold on, Virgos. You're the first ones that I'm doing this for. God, can you please explain why did the magician come out reverse? Why did the magician come out reverse? I know that God is saying, change the way that you're communicating so that you can learn how to connect with God and Spirit more, so that you can get to the 10 of Cups and your blessing. But God, why did this magician come out reverse? Why did the magician come out reverse? One card, please. One card. Why did the magician come out reverse? You're rejecting your hermit mode. That makes sense. You're rejecting your hermit mode. Because you don't want to go in this process of being isolated, of learning how to communicate properly. This is the rejection. Because you're rejecting this, you're not able to become the magician. So God is saying this isolation period is necessary. You have to go through this period of becoming one with your emotions, learning how to communicate with Spirit, learning how to find the signs and synchronicities in the random, weird, unexpected places, creating a vision for your life so that you can get a fresh new start. But God is saying if you refuse to go through this period of isolation, you'll never become the magician. It's necessary. It's just a natural part of the journey. All right. Yep. God is saying you got to learn, you got to change the way that you communicate. You can't be so immature. You can't be so quick to temper. You can't be so that beasts can't always be out. God is saying it's time to change the way that you communicate. All right, God. God, what message do you have for my beautiful Virgos to become the alchemists of their lives, to help bring heaven on earth, or just to do magic or public? What tool do you have for them to use on teaching them how to focus on God and Spirit and to not really have these conversations or have confrontation with others? How can you help them? Like, what tool can you give them to help them understand why it's necessary for them to go through this period of isolation, to take on this view of impartiality, to get to the blessing that is truly meant for them, God? How can you allow them to accept the rejection so that they can get to their blessing? One card, please, God. Virgos, y'all the first one I had to clarify a card. All these, this about what, third month? Oop, there it go. I have control over the thoughts that I think. You got to change it. Since you have control over the thoughts that you offer, what could be a more just than the powerful law of attraction responding equally to everyone who offers a vibration? Once you gain control over the thoughts you think, your sense of injustice will subside, and you will be exhaled for an exuberant of life. Once you gain control over the thoughts that you think, your sense of injustice will subside and will be replaced with an exuberance for life and the zest to create that which you were born with. Let everything in the universe be an example to you of how the law of the universe works. So that's what God is trying to teach you. He's saying it first starts in your mind. It first starts with you looking at your situation differently. It first starts with you being in isolation so that you can learn to hear God, learn to hear Spirit. Once you're able to learn to hear God and hear Spirit, come one within yourself, become one with your emotions, then you're able to go and to become the alchemist of your life. The last card, the last message, and the last tool, angel number 2504, God wants you to understand is I am becoming more aware of my feelings about money. Many people protest when we explain the power of telling the story of their finances as you want them to be rather than as they are, because they believe that they should be factual about what is happening. But if you continue to look at lack for what is and speak of what is, you will not find the improvement that you desire. If you want effective, substantial change in your life, if you want to affect substantial change in your life experience, you must think thoughts that feel different as you think them. So there's no shortages of time or money. So my beautiful, beautiful Virgos, God is saying that if you find yourself in a place of isolation or a place of rejection, God is just telling you to please take this time to look at it differently. Know that this is just happening so that God can get you to get closer to Him and so that you can truly hear Him. So what He's asking you to do is, instead of fighting against this time, instead of not wanting to go through this, He's asking you to go through this. Feel your emotions, create a vision for your life, tap into your intuition, gain control over your thoughts. Know that you can easily change the direction of your life, but it first comes between you grounding yourself down, becoming one with your emotions, and knowing that you can bring anything you want about. Don't take this rejection personal. Know that it is only God protection. All right, last message. God, what happens for my beautiful Virgos if they take this advice of this reading and know that all of this rejection is just God protection? What if they gain control of their thoughts, focus on their 10 of cups, become one with their emotions and in sync with their intuition nudges? What is this unexpected blessing will come about? What happens if they honor this isolation moment and become the hermit? How do they become the magician? What is this Ace of Cups that's going to be given to them as the gift of impartiality? One card, please, God. One card. And you got 2, sexuality. So maybe for some of you guys, you haven't been feeling, maybe this rejection, you've been feeling like you're not good enough, you don't look good, I'm not going to ever have a good relationship because I'm fat, black, all this stuff. God is saying, no, turn that information differently. Start to listen to your intuition nudges, start to listen to your body, start moving your body, change the way that you think about yourself, and you will start feeling differently and attract the love and the passion that you want in your life. And the other thing God is saying is health. It would just completely change the way that you be in the world, and opportunities will be able to abound. So God is saying either you're going to take this moment of isolation as rejection, or you're going to take it as God protection. The choice is up to you. So what are you going to do? All right, y'all. If you made it to the end of this video, please give me your key takeaway. If not, please give me a thumbs up. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Namaste. Angel number 2816. Take care.